Okay. So I'm just going to cover Tuesday and Wednesday on the Forex Factory calendar. Um, Tomorrow, retail sales, core retail sales, regular retail sales, and the producer pricing index comes out tomorrow. Those are going to be super important because we're still looking at these numbers to help us determine what inflation is like. And then talking about inflation, Wednesday is going to be uber important. So if you decide to be in the market on Wednesday after 12 noon, then you don't care about your account. Do not be in the market on Wednesday after 12 o'clock. If you choose to do so, just know that you're putting your whole account at risk. Even if you set a nice stop loss, do not put in a pending trade. Don't have any pending trades open on your account thinking the market won't hit it, or I have a stop loss in place. It's cool. Don't do that, because I'm telling you, the news that's coming out on Wednesday, the markets will, you'll have a broker, and it could be the best of brokers, but slippage will happen where news in the market happens so fast and price moves so fast that your stop loss or your take profit or whatever the case may be, whatever you have that would trigger your order to open or close will get skipped over. Just don't do it. I'm telling you from experience, and I'm telling you because the news that's coming out on Wednesday is really going to set the precedence for literally the next quarter, the rest of the year, and possibly next year. So Fed is talking on Wednesday. We have our economic projections. The economic projections are going to be so important because we've gotten so many economic numbers that have come out recently that have told us that we have hit a high level of inflation. So moving forward, we need to start hearing our Fed talk about how they're going to curb inflation. That's what I expect to hear Wednesday. If the Fed skirts by the issue of inflation, they claim it's not that big of a deal. If they say that it's still managed and it's still under control, I'm looking to put money into safe havens. I'm looking to shift money towards those things. Why? Because I've already seen the pending orders for hedge funds that have shown that that's where they're going to start putting their money. I've heard that's where hedge funds are going to start putting their money. I've seen it for myself, with my own two eyes. So don't make no mistake, the Fed, what they're saying is going to move trillions of dollars on Wednesday. Don't think that your little account is going to be safe when these institutions start moving huge amounts of money. When Jerome Powell says, oh yeah, we're going to raise interest rates now because inflation's too high, or we're going to cut back on overnight spending to banks, or we're going to let inflation ride. Any of those statements is going to cause the market to move one way or the other. So I'm telling you, don't be in the market. We're going to get a statement. We're going to get a Fed's fund rate. I have said for the longest that the Fed is not going to change interest rates. This time I do not know, because our interest rates have been flat for over almost 2.5, 3 years or so. They've been relatively flat. Inflation has risen a lot. The prices of raw materials has gone up to the point where people can't afford houses, they can't afford cars, it's hard for them to buy groceries. Gas prices are up. It's hard for companies to manage that cost and not pass it on to the consumer. And wages have pretty much been stagnant until the last 2 months, but that's still not enough to cover inflation. So beware that the interest rate could possibly change. It's a small possibility, but it possibly could. And then tomorrow night we get a speech from the Bank of Canada governor. We get GDP numbers from New Zealand. We get news from Australia. We get their quote unquote their NFP news, but then we also get a speech. Just know that whatever the United States decides to do with their interest rates, whatever steps they decide to take with inflation, every other country is going to follow suit. So whatever the US says, every other country is going to do the same thing. And just know they're probably already on the same page because we just finished up G7 meetings. They just had a huge global financial conference where they were all together. So just know they're probably already all on the same page. So I'm expecting that whatever Jerome Powell says at 2 o'clock, we're going to hear somewhat of the same from Canada and Australia. And then later in the week, when we get our speech from the Swiss bank, probably, along the same lines. The news for crude oil is going to be important, but no one cares about that news. The market is already starting to move and consolidate already based on Wednesday. Everybody's waiting for Wednesday. Everybody wants to know what is the Fed going to say on Wednesday. So that's that. Like I said, just know if you decide to be in the market after 12 noon on Wednesday, you just don't care about your account. And I really don't care about the rest of the week at this point until after Wednesday. So it's not even important right now until we hear about what the Fed plans to do with our economy, with inflation, with jobs, with wages, overnight spending, like all that. Like we need an update. We need to know. We need something firm. His term is coming to an end fairly soon. So he needs to do something to, spruce up his numbers. So hopefully it's nice. All right, so that's that for the Forex Factory calendar. So I'm going to transition over to talking about crypto. So over the last, I would say several years or so, because it didn't just start recently. It's been something that I've done for a while. I really wanted to know and understand Bitcoin, understand cryptocurrencies.
Did you want me to start recording?
Yeah, you can.